So anybody doesn't know you became a father this week.
I did.
Or was it last week? I don't care. It doesn't matter. Probably this week. And you named me the Godfather.
I did.
Which obviously was the right choice. But what made me worried is I've been working on my voice all week. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the Godfather now. I can't get it down. So I ended up getting a Ouija board and trying to summon the ghost of Marlon Brando. So he could teach me how to do the voice. Uh-huh. And when I finally got him to come through, you know what he said?
What'd he say?
Nothing. But it's time for the enthusiast.
Yes! Oh my God!
Hello and what's up, everybody? This is the enthusiast with episode 34.
33, right? 33.
33. Going on 34, but still 33. I'm one of your hosts, Justin Nazario. Alongside of me is Noob Dad.
Yeah.
And man that hasn't slept in 5 days.
Yeah, he's here.
William Zaba, how you doing?
Tired, but good.
You do look rough.
Yeah, thanks.
Look good. House is still clean, though.
It is. I cleaned it before you came over.
That's pretty impressive. I've never cleaned my house when you're coming over. I let you walk right in the filth. I don't care.
Keeping it real, man. You don't put the blinders on.
The only thing
that's a facade you then have to keep up.
The only thing I do clean is the bathroom because I hate disgusting bathrooms at people's houses.
Yeah.
So I clean mine.
You have a nice bathroom.
Yes.
I really like flushing your toilet.
Well,
that handle thing, the way that yours works.
You poop after every one of our podcasts. Every time.
I do. I actually feel horrible because I don't know why.
You're like, all right, man, I'm just going to use the bathroom before I leave. I'm like, all right. I'll see you in about 5 to 10 minutes. That's all right.
So how you been?
I've been good. I became a Godfather. It was very important to me. No, that's about it. It was the only real thing of structure came. Oh, I downloaded Final Fantasy VII on my PS4.
Yeah, I saw you were streaming it.
I did. And lost. And I got so frustrated and turned it off. Ooh. I was a little making funny jokes too, and I was like, oh, I died. Okay. I'm going to turn this off. So what I think, I'm surprised how well it held up. I'm so very much enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I forgot how every RPG felt exactly the same back in the day. Like Final Fantasy VII came out, and everyone followed that format.
Yeah.
And this is exactly how I feel about it because it reminds me of that old school JRPG. Like,
I agree. It's actually when I dove back into it, I was kind of like, oh, I'm probably not going to enjoy it as much. No, I still enjoyed it quite a bit.
It is really fun.
I like the Magica system. Or materia, where you had to put the materia into your weapons and armor. That's how you got to do your spells and summons.
Limit break was always fun.
Limit breaks were cool.
I was playing it the other day in front of my wife. She was like, what's wrong with their arms? I was like, 97. That's what was wrong with their arms.
Yes.
97. This was the pinnacle of graphics, okay?
I remember when that game first came out, I was like, that looks so real.
It did, man. I remember the first time you hit the button, and it was like the first time I actually seen a character press a button in a video game. Unlike all games where that just said, you hit button. And I was like, what?
Yep.
He actually pressed the button.
He had animations. And then when I saw the first cutscene, I was like, oh, man.
But, no, I'm really enjoying it. And that's about it. That's all I've done. What about you?
Beat Crash 1.
Ooh. Because I did.
Yes.
Have to top me every time, huh?
I'm on Crash 2.
You do this every time.
I'm sorry. I heard you beat Crash 1, and I was like...
How many bosses are you down, Crash Bandicoot?
Only one for part 2.
3 in already.
Oh, well, sorry. You know, I have a newborn that I'm worried about.
That's it?
Don't get me wrong, you have 3. My house right now is full of kids. I have all 3 of his, as well as mine.
Well, I didn't bring the dog.
Yeah, I would have been a party then.
Yeah, he's a jerk anyway.
But
and I got a new tattoo.
Yeah, which is actually pretty cool.
Thank you.
He has the Triforce.
It hurt.
Yeah, only one side.
Only one side. I still don't know why. It was weird.
But
Go ahead. You can explain it.
Oh,
It's my tattoo. That's fine.
No, go ahead. Explain
how about I
your
just
tattoo.
he has a wrestling tattoo on his arm, everybody. How about that? That's what we're doing now.
Not a wrestling tattoo. But go on.
Anybody knows I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan, so I got the Triforce and the Skyward Sword bird on the back of my neck, even though I didn't like Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword, is that what it's called?
Skyward Sword.
I hate that game. It's like my least favorite Zelda.
Yeah.
Not a terrible game, but least
I
favorite.
thought that bird first appeared, I could be wrong though, in Ocarina of Time on the Hyrulean Shield.
It did.
Okay.
But the bird is based off of, that one's supposedly based off because Skyward Sword's the first ever in the timeline of Zelda.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the bird it's based off of. But yeah, that's where it came from, the high relationship. But I really like the tattoo, so I got that and the Triforce on the back of my neck. And like he was saying, for some reason on the right side I felt nothing. He got to the left side and I was like, I'm going to punch him in the throat. It really hurts. But
you look like you want to cry just talking about it.
It's still numb. It still feels bad. And like you're not supposed to like go outside or anything when you first get them or anything.
Sunlight's
enemy, you know what I mean? And of course my wife's radiator breaks in her car. So I was out all morning fixing that thing, beating down sun right on my neck. Like this thing's gonna be faded. 20 years already in just one day.
20 years of having it done in a day.
Fair enough.
Let's just get started. There's a lot to cover today.
There is a lot, so we should get started with
the news. So let's dive into one of the big ones right off the bat, Justice League. Got a new trailer.
It did get a new trailer. A very well spliced together trailer, too.
Yes.
Did a really good job of focusing on each of the Justice League member. Batman took a step back in this trailer.
I noticed that myself.
Yes.
I was like, it kind of feels like Batman is an afterthought in this trailer. Like
he took a step. I think it was because he's so divine in the first one. Let him take a step back. Who do you think stole the show?
Flash.
Really?
Flash or Aquaman?
I was going to say Aquaman.
Because I really enjoyed Aquaman, but here's one part that I literally laughed out loud. When everyone escaped from the rooftop but Flash. And he was like, oh wow, that's really rude. They do that all the time. Okay, but
it was really funny. I love his awkwardness, and I love the fact that it was a really nice line in the trailer when he says, everybody, all of you are ready for this battle. The only thing I've ever done is run and push people out of the way. And then run away, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense. This is his first big battle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what was your favorite line in the trailer? Because I'll tell you mine. I lost my SHIT.
I don't really know. I didn't really think about it that much. What was yours?
When Alfred's like, somehow I missed the days when all you had to worry about was a wind-up penguin bomb. And I was like, yes, man.
Yeah.
Opening that universe. I was so happy.
That was a really good one.
And it was such a throwback. And it makes me realize, yes, this is a Batman that's been doing this for 20 years. That means the Penguin exists, the Riddler exists, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, Black Mask. He's probably faced all these people.
Yeah.
And it just made me really happy. I got so excited. I know not Penguin or anything like that. It's just the fact that they alluded to the Penguins in the universe.
We kind of saw the villain, Steppenwolf.
Yes.
We didn't see his face.
And I like that.
You did say that. You really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed the fact they didn't show his face. I like the fact that it really didn't say who he was.
Yes.
You're just seeing his presence kind of and how big of a character he is.
We didn't see Darkseid still, which I actually kind of like, that we still have not seen him. I will say...
We also haven't seen Lex Luthor, who's in this movie, so we don't know what he's playing at all. And we still haven't seen the big soups at all in the trailer yet.
Which, I'm curious. Now, I don't know if you caught on to this. Did you notice that Steppenwolf says, I believe it was Steppenwolf, I could be mistaken, this planet has no Kryptonians, no Lanterns.
Yes.
So, he was like, it's doomed. You know what I mean? And I was like...
I noticed that right away when he was like, I watched it twice to make sure, and he said no lanterns. And I was like, all right, so already they're establishing that lanterns are something that exists in this universe.
Yes.
So, which to me says, just like the comics, the only thing Darkseid really fears are Kryptonians and the Lantern Corps. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
which I'm curious, though, is the seventh member then a Lantern?
It's got to be. Why else would they hint to it?
We don't know. They've never casted a Lantern yet, still.
Nope.
We have no idea. We're like, what they're going to do for this. Is it going to be... Is the Lantern they pick going to be the one that's going to be a part of the actual seven? Is it going to be... why can't I think of his name right now? The guy who dies and gives Hal Jordan the ring. Begins with an A.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember his name. I don't think they would do that.
See, I don't know if they're going to do that. He dies. Hal Jordan gets the ring. goes from there. I mean, we actually don't even know if they're going to pick Hal Jordan because apparently they're doing the Green Lantern Corps.
Especially, and it makes it seem like the Lantern universe has been established. So this could go back to Alan Scott, go back to Hal Jordan. Technically, the reboot of the Justice League in the 90s, Jon Stewart was the first Lantern to join the Justice League.
Kyle Rayner was a part of the Justice League.
Now,
for a
the
while.
New 52, it's Hal Jordan was, but the original timeline, Hal Jordan was never part of the Justice League. So we will see where it goes. I'm really excited. Who do you think the person was at the end of the trailer?
Superman.
I don't think so.
Really?
Like, they obviously set up for Superman. I think it's like a Lantern or somebody.
See, I was thinking it was a Lantern too. The only reason why I didn't think it was a Lantern, though, no light. There was no glow, personally. Like, obviously, maybe he doesn't have the suit on and he's doing his thing, but I didn't see a glow or any...
I do think... Alright, so, we'll just do speculations right now. How do you think you'll bring Superman... Because obviously Superman's got to be in this.
Yes.
How do you think they'll bring him back to life without it being super cheesy?
We don't know he was actually dead.
If they do Deathlight Coma, I will be pissed.
Because I think that's what it is going to be. Because remember at the end of Batman v Superman, the dirt starts to slowly rise from the coffin.
Ooh.
But
I still think... Well, like we also haven't seen Lex. So Lex could play a part in it. Also, I want to know your opinion. The bank robbery in the beginning, or heist or whatever, they never show the main villain or guy's face. I think that's significant. Why? Like, I think it's going to be a known comic book character.
I think so too, actually. I was personally thinking maybe Black Mask.
That's exactly where I was going.
Because they didn't have a theme.
No.
The guys that were robbing didn't have a theme, but they all had, like, the black masks and helmets, and I was kind of like...
I'm thinking it's Black Mask too, and I think it's a huge actor playing him. And you're gonna get to see his face, and it's gonna be like almost Thor when you saw Jeremy Renner's as a sealed soldier, only to find out in Avengers he's Hawkeye. You know what I mean? So I honestly think that's exactly where it's going. We're gonna see a bigger actor playing like the mask is gonna get knocked off, and it's Channing Tatum or something underneath there. I don't know why my mind went Channing Tatum. He's just a good looking guy. I like the way he looks. I like the way Channing Tatum put together. Whew, I got weird.
He's Gambit. Oh, no, he's not anymore, is he?
Nobody like Gambit, man. But either way, I'm thinking that's just... So I thought Black Mask. I thought Penguin because of the throwaway line, but he's not not fat enough to be Penguin.
Yeah. I didn't think... the only one that came to my mind was Black Mask. Thought maybe they were going to do Joker only because people want to see more of Jared Leto's Joker, and although Joker is very themed... I feel like his henchmen in Suicide Squad weren't. They still kind of look like...
And even in Suicide Squad, you saying he had like a costume change every scene.
Yeah.
He was Princess Amidala or Queen Amidala from Star Wars, every scene, different outfit.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's him either. I think those are the two big...
Oh, you know who else I thought would be amazing? And this is what I thought. You were going to see somebody come in. It wasn't going to be an actor you knew or anything. And when he got to like the vault, he was going to go into a briefcase and pull out a... Scarface dummy, and it was going to be their ventriloquist. That would be awesome.
That would be sick.
But it is also Wonder Woman stopping them, so it might be somebody in the Wonder Woman universe. So, I don't know yet.
Cheetah.
I mean, we see, according to what I liked about Suicide Squad, it showed us that they really don't want to mix villains. Like, they literally brought Flash in, and we got our first look at Flash. In Suicide Squad, just established that him and Captain Boomerang are arch enemies.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I've really, really enjoyed that. So, I love Captain Boomerang in that movie. He was fantastic.
He was really good. He was funny.
Yeah.
Sticking with DC, though, and since you brought up Flash...
That's where I was going, buddy. Flash, huh? What do you think?
Flashpoint Paradox is going to be his movie.
That's so weird. I knew they were going to go with this, but I thought it was going to be a trilogy.
I thought it would be his second or third movie.
I thought for sure third.
I did not expect them to lead off with this. First off, now you got to get what's-his-name back to be Thomas Wayne, which he already said that he would happily do it before. I'm super excited to see him do that. But what do you think? Like, I feel like DC, and we haven't seen Justice League yet, but Batman v Superman, I think, while you and me did really like it, I think Warner Brothers or DC, because there's so many people trying to get in on things, they have a bad job having a focus. And Flashpoint Paradox is a lot of stories.
I agree. But I think that's also what DC's been doing. I think, like, we're Marvel, and this isn't a jab at Marvel, because obviously what Marvel's doing is working for them, but Marvel's kind of been doing safe stories.
I agree.
And Batman v Superman pulled from Frank Miller's Dark Knight, which is not a safe story at all to do. And pulled from Doomsday Superman, which they've been talking about doing that for years, and no studio would sign on to that. That's where it pulled from. So there's a lot of like DC. Obviously, one, they're trying to play catch up. Number two, they're taking these famous stories that people have been talking about, and they're like, let's just do them. And Flashpoint's one that everybody's like, oh, I think anybody that's read The Flash either wants the Rogue Gallery or Flashpoint Paradox were the two stories you want to do. And I thought for sure, I was like, they're going to go with the Rogue Gallery. But I was wrong.
I mean, I think eventually we're going to lead up to, obviously, League of Doom or whatever it is with Randall Savage.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's something they need to establish.
Definitely think that's...
Because I don't know what you do really after Darkseid.
The best thing
we've talked about before.
Yeah, the best thing you can do is League of Doom, I think, after that. But that's why I thought they were going to do the Rogues. Like, I thought you were going to get Captain Cold, Weatherman, you know what I mean, Mirror Master. So, and I'm still, you know what I mean, because there's rumors that Tim Robinson was casted as Captain Cold. So I really thought that was the direction we were going in.
True. I mean, the other things we do also have, this is the DC movie line, let's be honest, can go on forever, really. Because they just also got Watchmen are now part of the DC universe. They can make that a big thing that's going on. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited for Flashpoint, just a little worried with all the characters and moving parts. Obviously, you're going to have the Aquaman war. You'd probably have to shave Jason Momoa's beautiful hair.
They're probably going to go in a different direction, and they might finally show what that Flash was that we saw in Batman v Superman. Because if you look at that Flash, one, he had long hair and a beard. Number two, he was in a completely different suit.
Yeah, it was very mechanical.
Yeah, very futuristic. And I've been trying to connect that timeline and figure out who he's talking about, but, like, it doesn't fit. Like, did he mean... all I can think is if he meant that if Flash didn't, or Superman didn't, Batman didn't stop... I don't know. I don't know what direction they were going with. It always kind of confused me. So I'm going to trip over my words altogether instead. But maybe that's what they'll get into.
So you're excited, though?
Absolutely. Maybe they'll get into Kid Flash.
Ooh.
Who is part of Young Justice.
Now, would they do... Before we get into that, though, but do you think they're going to do Billy? I mean, Bart, or do you think they're going to do Wally West?
Oh, Wally West, for sure.
Okay, because, I mean...
Nobody knows Bart Allen, man, besides me and you.
I like Bart.
I love Impulse. I think he's a great Flash. I was surprised that Smallville did it, Bart Allen, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Okay. Yeah, but you brought it there.
Young Justice.
Young Justice. We got our first image look at there's a new art style, season 3's coming, and they added some new characters. Let's start with the art. What'd you think?
It doesn't bother me too much. It doesn't look too different from the original to me.
Yeah, I agree. It actually looks really similar.
Yeah.
When they said it was different, I kind of almost didn't even notice it.
Yeah,
until
I think
I did a
side by side, really be honest, to notice it. And I feel like the original looked so good anyway. This doesn't look terrible at all.
No.
Like, the only thing like, it's not a drastic jump like the Batman animated series did, where like season 4 looked completely different from the rest of the seasons.
Yeah.
The last 2 seasons of the X-Men animated series, when they went over to Japan for the art, and it completely changed everything. Like, it looks very similar. So I'm actually excited to go. And this takes place 5 years?
Yes.
In the future.
5 years
So
after.
doing another 5-year jump like season 1 and 2 did?
Yep. Now, they still look young in the picture.
Mm.
They don't really look like they're much older.
Yeah.
Which made me wonder. I don't know if that might be this exact same team all around.
So different members?
Here's my only reason. The Robin, as if you look, really is dressed like Damian.
I can say that.
He has the hood up. The mask shape is more like Damian. So then let's be honest, in the original Young Justice, I thought it was Tim Drake the whole time because of the suit and everything like that.
But it was Dick Grayson. Until season 2, Tim Drake.
Yes.
And they skipped Jason altogether.
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't?
So I'm curious if since they're doing another time jump.
Yeah, let's look at the team over here, because that could very well be the original Roy, because original Roy was young by the end of season 2. It was the clone that had grown up.
Yes.
So obviously that could be original Roy, and looks like he's got the robotic arm anyway. Yeah.
Yes.
That's definitely him.
So that's going to
Beast
be
Boy
Arsenal.
Beast Boy doesn't age,
No.
so that kind of explains him.
Now, it looks like they changed what's-her-name's outfit. She was wearing green. Now, I don't know if that's even the same girl. Do you remember her name?
Who was that?
The one who used the bow?
Artemis?
Artemis, yes.
I don't think that's Artemis.
No?
Yeah, because after Wally died, she was done, man. She looked like she was done.
Yeah, but another bow user looks... I mean, she may not even... She doesn't have a bow, so you know what? You might be right. I don't know who that could be, actually.
I mean, there's three girls. I have no idea who they are. Same thing with Wonder Girl. She's not going to age. And that looks like it definitely is 5 years, because that's Impulse as Kid Flash. And he looks definitely 5 years older, because he was like 10 in Season 2.
Yeah.
So, I don't know who that gentleman at the end. I guess that's Static Shock?
That is definitely Static Shock.
Ooh,
Which I thought was pretty cool.
I like to see Static Shock.
One thing that
Better than Black Lightning. Stupidest name ever.
One thing that I am actually really excited about is the return of Blue Beetle. I loved him in Season 2.
And to me, he looks older, too.
Yeah, he does. One thing that... He actually, in my opinion, based on this picture, looks like the new leader. I don't think Robin is around. Or if he is, he's probably going to be a side character. We're going to see the Nightwing or Red Robin.
Honestly, looking at this picture, it looks like the only ones from the Season 2 team are Blue Beetle and Beast Boy.
Oh, well, and Arsenal.
Yeah, well, Arsenal was part of the Outlaws in Season 2, remember?
Yes, but he was still in Season 2 is what I mean. He was there as well as in Season 1.
No, Wonder Girl, too. I apologize.
Yes, and Wonder Girl, sorry.
But nobody likes Wonder Girl, man. She doesn't even like herself.
So, no Aqualad, which he had a huge part in Season 2.
I loved Aqualad. That show made me fall in love with him.
Same.
I thought his character went. And then when they did the twist, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody in Season 2, but the twist with him was amazing. I thought he was a great character. I'm hoping that the original team's in it as mentors of some sort.
I do too. I really want to see them still be around. If that is Damien, I'm okay with Damien being in. I really like Damien's Robin presence because he's a very dominating character. He literally, in my opinion, is a much more hardcore Bruce Wayne. He knows he can be the best, so he's going to prove that he's the best.
I would actually like to see them start stepping way, way away from the old school lineup, Batman, stuff like that. And if you're going to do side characters, do an episode where Damien's got to team up with Dick Grayson, or, Beast Boy's got to team up with Mish Martian, you know what I mean? Connor, you know what I mean? I want to see where they all went on to live their normal lives, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we don't have Superboy either.
Yeah, and it's another 5 years, so maybe they're the new Justice League now. Maybe the other heroes are kind of taking a backseat, so...
Batman would never take a backseat.
No,
let's be honest.
He's in the Batcave thinking of something to do right now as we speak, and he's a fictional character.
Yeah,
so that's actually impressive.
But since you actually brought up the team up thing of Damien and Dick, I actually am really I'm really kind of confused as to why they never did a movie yet of that arc where Dick Grayson was Batman, and they Dick didn't want to really be Batman.
He did Batman Bad Blood. Was
that what Dick is Batman?
Yeah.
I didn't see Bad Blood then.
Well, that's your fault.
Yeah.
That was based off Chase for the Cowl and Resurrection.
Okay. Let's look at some Marvel news.
Marvel? Nobody likes Marvel.
Yeah, we have...
Just a joke. Everybody likes Marvel.
Dr. Doom.
My favorite villain of all time.
He's actually getting his own movie.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Victor Von Doom.
What do you think they're going to do with that?
I don't know.
Do you think this is because of the whole Venom thing coming up? Like, are villains now just going to start getting their own solo movies?
Here's the thing, though. Venom, to me, Eddie Brock turned good.
Yes, he's an anti-hero, technically.
Okay. Venom. And after Eddie Brock died, Flash Thompson got the Venom suit, became Agent Venom, still a good guy. Venom's been there. There's not a redeeming factor about Dr. Doom at all. Okay?
He is a villain.
He's a villain.
And he is technically the Hitler of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, the way they compare him to is Lex Luthor. The fact that he can outsmart anybody. He's a dictator of Bavaria, so he's got diplomatic immunity, so he constantly can commit crimes over here and they can do nothing about it. And I don't know how you would turn that into a relatable story. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, and then you can't make us feel too bad for him, like change his origins too much, because by that point, if you make him go against the Fantastic Four, then we're
rooting for him.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's like, you ever see Immortals?
I did.
They made Mickey Rourke's villain so sympathetic that I felt bad for him, man. It was so you can't. To me, it's very hard to make villains sympathetic sometimes. And I love Doctor Doom, and I have no idea how they're going to pull this off.
I think DC, personally, not to bring up them again, I think they do a good job of walking that line where you do care about some villains and you see their side of things, but you know that they're still a villain.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do with Doctor Doom. First off, I don't know how you really make that interesting.
And then what Doctor Doom storyline do you go with? Do you go with the ultimate version? You know what I mean? Do you go with the original storyline? Are you going to do I had one scar on my beautiful face, so I ruined it because of that. I put a mask on you out,
And the hard part is, you can't even, so it's not like you can make a movie of the everyday life of Doctor Doom. Seeing him get out of bed, steps on a Lego. Oh, dang it.
are you going to show that are you going to show his rise to how he became a dictator? You know what I mean? They've done many origin stories to Doctor Doom, and never does he feel like a good guy.
Well, he's not a good guy.
He's not.
Pretty much is the pinnacle of...
Yeah, and it's... I think the likable thing about Doctor Doom is he's so intelligent, and he's so evil.
Yeah.
This man forced his way and stole Odin's power because of his intelligence. That's the Doctor Doom I know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have no idea how they're going to make the movie, but I think you're absolutely right. It's because of this Venom situation. But to me, there's other villains you could have done that would make more sense.
More anti-villains.
Yeah, you could have done Kraven. Kraven's been known to walk that line on, I'll help Spider-Man, I'm going to hunt him down, you know what I mean? That would make more sense. Just who is he going to fight in the film?
Well, that's the thing, too, because you don't have a Fantastic Four. They pretty much scrapped that last movie again.
We have no idea who's playing him this time.
No.
Both versions from the film were terrible, let's be honest.
Which is one of the things where if you went with either of the movies, you couldn't make him a dictator.
No. I like the one from the original two a little better than Toby, whatever his face's version, but...
I can agree with that one.
Either way, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot. There's no... I don't see it. I can't see it. I can't. There's no way. Are you going to give him the accent?
Yeah, I don't really know what you do. It's just... It's hard because... you can't even have him planning an attack on the Avengers because he's not in that universe. You can't have him fighting Spider-Man. You literally the most you might be able to do, because I believe Fox is what owns the rights, correct? Mm-hmm. X-Men, Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it.
I have no idea what direction they could go with this. It really confuses me.
When I heard it, I was very confused as well.
And then on top of that, if you make a movie about Doctor Doom, starring Doctor Doom, there's two options you have. You can keep him out of the mask the entire movie and have him put him on the end and disappoint everybody that came in there for a Doctor Doom movie. Or you can keep him in the mask the entire time and have this poor actor trying to act through this layer of metal over his face. So there's no idea what you're going to do with this. It's very alien to me.
Ooh, I see what you did there.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So sticking with Fox too, Alien. Apparently Fox wants to relook at the entire franchise. They want to reassess it.
Because there's a lot of movies, man.
I think it's these movies haven't really been doing well. I don't think Covenant did very well, which sucks. I was actually really excited for Covenant. I never had a chance to go see it in theaters.
Since the advertisement was terrible for it, man.
I agree. I literally only wanted to see it because it was an Alien movie, and I really enjoyed those movies. Well, the first two. After that, they slowly go downhill. But what do you think they need to do to bring this? I personally feel like Fox just lost what made Alien so special.
It's not that I feel like it's special. Ridley Scott came back, and you know what I mean. I really did like Prometheus. The issue is a lot of people were expecting Alien with Prometheus, so they were disappointed when they got Prometheus.
I enjoyed Prometheus.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Yeah. But I could see imagine somebody going in there expecting aliens, and that's what you watch instead. You're going to be disappointed. And I feel like that burnt a lot of people that probably didn't go see Alien Covenant. With that being said, it's also, talking about that, it's a flooded market. This is technically, the sixth in this franchise? And that's not if you include the Alien vs. Predator, because if so, that's 8 films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your quality is going to drop, and you're going to start running out of originality. And then, here's another issue. You're dealing with a weird generation. Like, my mom loves the original Alien movies. My mom's old.
Yeah.
Okay,
she's probably not also going to go to a movie.
Yeah, who are you advertising to now? You know? I love the Alien movies.
See, I thought Prometheus was good because it was a good, kind of a soft reboot for aliens. But it kind of feels like they scrapped that idea with Covenant. The only thing that I didn't see the movie, but from the previews and all, the only thing that I could see as a link was Michael Fassbender again.
You're a Fassbender.
But I kind of feel like the alien movies, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't feel like they have that horror element to them anymore.
Mm-mm.
They're much more action movies and more...
Well, it's hard to pull off things like you could have done 20, 30 years ago.
That's true.
It's not going to work out this way. Same thing. Remember when Superman Returns came out?
Yes.
It was almost a remake of the original Superman, which worked back in the 70s because that's the first time people could see a man flying in a movie, doing these things. You do that in the 2000s when everybody's seeing multiple Superman movies, it's a boring film. That's the issue with Alien. You did it already. So when Covenant went back to one alien on a ship terrorizing people, it was pretty much a remake of one. We've seen it already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to do. What I personally think they could have done to fix it was what Ripley Scott originally had planned, and that was a sequel to Alien, pretending like 3 and 4 never happened, where she wakes up after Alien 2. That would have, to me, would have been a better film. I would like to see Sigourney Weaver come back. And what's his face? That played the
android.
Not the android, man. Bishop. The guy who played the love interest, not love interest, the soldier in 2.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I mean? Bring them back. I would love to see that. Can you imagine that? They've been in a coma for 30 years. And a frozen coma. That would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
That would be crazy.
You know what I mean? One egg survived.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you need to also do is colonies of aliens.
Colonies.
I feel like they never really give us too many aliens at once on the screen. And before you used to be able to make that argument that, well, they use guys in suits. But Covenant was all CGI. They didn't use practical effects anymore. I mean, I think it was the third one that went all CGI too, because that alien looked horrible in that movie.
Which one?
The third one where they were in that prison.
It was a guy in a suit too.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hmm.
The bull alien?
Yeah.
Guy in a suit.
Really?
Yeah.
Could have swore that it
Budget was the lowest for that film. It's probably why it looked fancy.
Yeah, it looked horrible.
Yeah. You know what else I feel like they could have done? And I feel like not a lot of films do. Take a chance. Do something way different.
I agree.
Hellboy to it. You know what I mean? Oh, the first one works. I'm going to do something completely different. It would have been completely different. Make them wake up 30 years after they crashed on Earth, and the planet has been taken over by aliens.
Yeah.
That would have been something different.
I actually am surprised that hasn't been a thing yet. Especially with, I believe it was the end of one of the aliens where they did bring an egg back to Earth. We never really saw where that leads, but
Alien 3, by the way.
yeah. But we did have more Marvel news, and it had to do with space. It just Thor.
Thor Ragnarok.
We did see a new trailer for Thor.
What do you think?
You know what?
I got one question about the trailer before you say your opinion. Where did Bruce Wayne get that suit from? He's really nice clothes he's wearing.
Oh yeah.
When he's talking to Thor after waking up. Those look like Earth clothes. Where did you get them from?
Well, we have to consider the location. A bunch of different guys. That might be John Cena's suit after he lost.
Good point. Obviously, it would fit in John Cena's suit.
He's a smaller guy than John Cena.
So, what did you think of the trailer?
I actually wasn't very impressed. I liked the poster more than I liked the trailer.
Okay.
I feel like Marvel now, and they've been trying too hard to constantly be funny. That was my problem with Guardians.
Guardians 2.
Guardians 2, yes.
That the first one was naturally funny, so this one they forced it on you.
Yeah. And in the very beginning of this trailer, we have Thor talking to Hulk, well, Bruce Banner, he's not Hulk anymore, about, what's been going on. He's like, oh, then I ran into you. We fought. He's like, oh, did I win? No.
Well, what makes me mad is Thor always seemed like, I don't know, I feel like you ever watch Boy Meets World?
I did.
You remember how Eric went from kind of dumb to, by the end of the series,
super dumb.
Super dumb?
Yes.
I feel like that's what they're doing with Thor in this franchise.
I actually agree.
Yeah, like he was a bit of a lughead in the first one, like the coffee thing, but he was someone Natalie Portman could still fall in love with. this Thor, what is this?
It's like, why does any woman want this?
He's a caveman. You know what I mean? It's like they took those little bits they did where what Thor was doing during Civil War, and that's the Thor they went with.
Yeah.
Like, he really is that stupid.
Because I really think that's what people attach to the most. They're like, oh, this seems to be when Thor was at his peak, when we made him act like this. Let's keep going with that.
To me, you're ruining his character. I just...
He's supposed to be a very serious character.
Yes. I think the first movie did it perfectly, where it's not that he's dumb. Our culture just doesn't make sense to him.
Yes.
He's a culture of war, fighting, all that stuff. So to him, it's like, why are you guys sitting around watching TV when we could be conquering and battling and riding a horse? I feel like the first movie pulled that off well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I even think the second one did a pretty good job of it. I liked the second one more than the first, personally.
When first one did well, so they could pump money into that. I always love when sequels do that.
Yeah.
The trailer for the second one was, you like the first one that took place on Earth? Well, now we have money, so it's going to take place in the Dark World. Yes.
All CGI.
Yes.
We can afford it now.
We can afford it now. So, but either way, I was really, really very disappointed to see that. Do I hate the trailer? No. Did I prefer the first trailer? Yes.
Yeah.
And then to me, this trailer gave way too much away in the story. Now I know now I basically can tell you between the trailers, I've watched the film.
Yeah.
And because of another trailer that got leaked, I'm not going to say this movie is now ruined. So I literally feel like I know this entire movie. You gotta be careful with them trailers, man.
We do. I will say one thing I'm a little weird with is Loki and Thor both teaming up using those blasters in that one scene. That looked weird to me. I didn't like that.
It does ruin, and once again, it's like ruining Thor's character. It's like, if you're going to do a team up, Hawkeye uses his arrows. Captain America uses shield. Thor uses his hammer. You don't want to see Thor using anything. I can substitute a sword, but a gun just feels weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Seeing him and Loki use guns was off to me, because I was kind of like, Thor to me is a brawler. He's not a sit back and shoot kind of guy. So it was just odd to me. I wasn't a fan. We know his hammer broke. We've seen that in the first trailer as well as this one. How do you feel about the villain? I think we're having another Marvel villain.
Yeah, and to me, in this, I haven't seen her. She looks like she's overacting. So I don't know. I have to see her own character, but it's overacting. I don't know. It's just weird. And like I said, going back to the gun thing, though, it does look really out of place. Super weird.
Yeah. I'm assuming the only reason why they catch Loki is because of her. Because the last time we saw Loki, he was Odin.
Yeah.
Unless they forgot that that's what they did.
No, I think, because we've seen at the end of...
Dark World.
No, I was going to say the end of Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was a Marvel movie.
No, I know.
After scenes credit with Thor, that explains that he found out about Odin.
Oh, I didn't. I forgot all about that, actually.
Yeah, you're dumb. You're welcome. I saved your life always.
Yeah, thanks. I actually forgot all about that scene.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Either way, I'm still excited about this. I'm hoping that everything we're complaining about is just stuff the trailer makes it look like. But it definitely does look like that's the direction they're going. But before that, I want to just jump into the way I feel like this trailer was ruined. Today, Avengers Infinity War trailer leaked.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was going to lead into next.
Yeah.
So,
because of that leaking, though, Ragnarok is ruined. We know Thor survives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're assuming that it doesn't work out for him because of how they come across them in Infinity War's trailer. How do you feel about that? Did they give too much away in the trailer? Should they have waited till... I mean, think about it this way. The Avengers trailer dropped. The first trailer dropped at when Captain America Civil War was done.
Yes.
Which made sense because now none of the movies are ruined. Now you know because you've seen them already.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron, same thing. Dropped the minute that... What was the last of Phase 3?
Wasn't it Thor Ragnarok again?
No, or not Phase 3, excuse me.
Phase 2, you mean.
Phase 2.
I thought it was
at the end of Winter Soldier.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Was when we got the first look at Age of Ultron.
Yes.
Do you feel like they showed the trailer way too early for this?
I think, well, this was a leak.
It was a leak.
This was only for people who went to San Diego Comic-Con.
Okay.
I'm also going to say right now, spoiler alerts, we are going to slightly talk about this trailer. If you did not want to know, I would say skip ahead maybe 5-10 minutes, just to be safe.
10 minutes we should save because we're going to tickle him for 5 minutes after he's done his 10. You don't want to see that?
So, I do think they showed too much. We did see a lot of characters.
Yes.
This is going to be way more characters than we've ever seen on screen before.
Well, I also feel like they're doing the typical movie editing where it's like, look at all these characters in the movie. And then, some guy in the
first 10 minutes, most of them are going to knock
first
out.
10 minutes and the last 10 minutes, and the movie's going to follow for. Like, you know what I mean? We got to... All right, we're going spoiler on this. We have a lot of Guardians, so obviously this will be a Guardians-heavy movie. With that being said, Guardians is kind of Marvel's flagship right now. Iron Man and Guardians are the two most popular characters.
I agree.
And that's what we got most in the trailer, was Guardians and Iron Man.
We did see Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
We did.
He's going to be back.
Yes, with a different suit.
The Iron Spider suit, I
Yes.
believe, which is makes me really happy. Makes me tingly places.
It's really weird.
I'm sorry. Too far.
We did see Steve Rogers shooting a beard,
We did.
which was really weird. Obviously, I think he's getting his shield back from Iron Man this time, because we all remember at the end of Civil War, Iron Man took that shield. Rumors are that he made a new shield, and that's the whole thing he's going to give him.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but he did.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk. Let's see, what else did we catch in that trailer?
We've seen Thor meeting the Guardians
We've
in a
seen
very odd way.
Weird way, so to me that just ruins the end of Ragnarok, like I said.
I agree.
And then we saw Scarlet Witch. We saw...
And Vision.
And Vision.
They're both together, it looked like.
Yes. Pretty much everybody saw Black Panther.
We did see Doctor Strange, but we only saw his arm.
Yes.
I don't know if you caught it.
And
all he did was cast the platforms.
I don't remember seeing Ant-Man either.
I did not see Ant-Man either.
But I'm pretty positive.
We saw Falcon.
Yes.
Doing his classic spinning, flying jump kick.
That's all he can really do, though. As much as I like Falcon, I think Anthony Mackie does an amazing job as Falcon. Really rough hero. Okay, you fly. You do a spinning kick.
Do you think they're gonna bring in Winter Soldier? Because remember, he's with Steve Rogers.
I think they're going to fit as many people as they can in this.
So I mean, I think they need to bring him
Winter
in.
Soldier, I think, is going to be in it. But I'm also...
We didn't see the Children of Thanos.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do with this. Like, obviously you're going to have the Avengers in it, and it's, to me, to have somebody like Black Widow and Hawkeye and Falcon going against Thanos, it's a joke. You know what I mean? To go back to DC, the one thing I appreciated about Batman v Superman is when they fought Doomsday at the end, Batman hightailed it out of there.
Yeah.
It was Wonder Woman and Superman while Batman threw stuff in the background.
Yeah, and every time Doomsday looked at him, he's like,
"Oh, I'm out."
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that's always kind of annoyed me about the Marvel movies is, much as I like Hawkeye, as much as I like Black Widow, what could they do against Thanos?
Yeah, really, they're more of a liability.
Yeah, so I'm honestly, and I hate to say this, I really, in order to scare us and Thanos, you have to give him somebody that he instantly kills.
I think you have to kill off a couple people.
Exactly, and I want to see the human characters like Falcon, Hawkeye, all of them. Show that you're in a bigger over your head. Take him out.
Well, we didn't see Hulk either.
No, we don't.
We don't see Hulk. So I'm curious if Hulk even goes back with Thor. And I wonder if they're obviously not going to do a Planet Hulk, but they could be setting up maybe a World War Hulk.
Well, this is also a two-parter, this film.
Is it? I thought they scrapped that. Or was it... No, that was DC. DC scrapped it, right?
Yes.
No, that's also a two-parter. One of them, I believe, scrapped it.
I'm still almost positive that it's...
Maybe they're both two-parters still. Okay.
I'm pretty sure DC was the one that scrapped the Justice League Part 2.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to see more what's going on. And that's why I feel like the trailer... Because you never really saw everybody fighting together.
No.
You saw glimpses and pieces. I feel like this, at the end, is when they bring the team together to set up for the second one, where they're really going to fight. What do you think of the Thanos, the way he looks?
I didn't like him without his helmet.
Either did I. He looks so weird,
He
man.
does.
like Dr. like Bilbo Egghead.
Looked like a cucumber.
Yeah, it was super awkward. You know what he looked like? The Parasite from Superman. That's the whole time I could think. Like sucking your powers, Superman.
He did not look good.
No.
I do
love Josh Brolin's voice.
I do too.
So good. I was very afraid that everybody's got that rumbly voice and everything like that. I think Josh Brolin brought a perfect new thing. It was almost like James Spader for Ultron. I really like that voice. It's not scary. It's not overwhelming. It's not big and deep. It's not James Earl Jones, but it's very distinguished. So it's an exciting thing. But you know what I mean? Is this movie going to bring us to hell? No. But Todd McFarlane's fine.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Oh, sorry.
He's Spawn. Which I feel like this is something that just doesn't want to die. This idea. Because I'm pretty sure since the first Spawn movie ever came out, I've been hearing for my entire life
that they're going to do another Spawn movie.
Yeah.
We were talking originally a sequel, then a reboot, and then there was talk that they were going to continue the HBO cartoon live action. I feel like by this point, I think it's time. It's been, 20 years since the first movie?
I do think CGI and all that is where it is at a point where you can make a really good Spawn movie. However, what I'm worried about is Spawn a little too... Do you think not enough people, I feel like, talk about Spawn anymore? He's not as popular as he was in the 90s.
I agree. But we do know recently that it's not always the popularity of the comic character.
That is true.
It's the way you advertise it and word of mouth. So if they pull out... Like, to be honest, Deadpool wasn't a huge comic book character. His movie did ridiculous well, and so did Guardians of the Galaxy. And that had to do with advertising and word of mouth.
I agree.
So I feel like if they can... You know what would be nice is Spawn is that nice superhero, which would feel like a horror movie as well. And if they can pull that off well, I would love to see it. And also, let's start fixing some stuff from the original movie that people complained about. You know what I mean? I feel like the only thing the original movie did really well was John Leguizamo as a Violator. Thought he was perfect. I loved it. I thought it was great. So I'm curious, though, what direction they go into now.
So who do you think they're going to cast as their Spawn?
That is a tough... What's his
name?
I
don't want to get too deep into it.
Simmons was his name?
Yeah. Let's only go with Spawn. I don't want to get too deep with all the other characters because we don't even know who they're going to bring in as the...
Well, we don't know. We don't know if Violator will even be the villain in this one.
We know nothing.
I honestly think they'll go a different direction.
Well, before we get into who we want to play Spawn, I'll give you a second to think. We do know Todd McFarlane is both writing and directing this movie.
Well, he's pitching hard. Plus, he's probably hungry.
Probably.
I mean, he wants to get a payday and make a sandwich.
What do you think? Like, I personally feel like Todd McFarlane doesn't... His name doesn't mean what it used to. When I was much younger, I used to love... Oh, we got a storm coming.
Ooh.
When I was younger, I used to love... I used to love Todd McFarlane's art style a lot.
To me, he still did one of the best Spider-Man runs.
But as he got more popular, I feel like his art has kind of fallen off.
Absolutely.
And so has his toy line.
Well, not even his toy line. I also feel like he got very lazy with Spawn. Because at first, he set up a huge, amazing universe.
Yeah.
And then some of the Spawn villains started coming out. And it was like, you're honestly looking at things in your apartment and putting them together. And then...
and cockroach. All right.
Right. Like... And he did get very lazy. But I also feel like since he's probably hungry, like, I was a joke, but like, I mean as hungry as in it's been a while since he's been relevant, I feel like he will do an amazing job with this movie because he'll pour everything he has into it. And let's be honest, at Spawn's peak, he was an amazing, well-fleshed-out character. He's technically a person that died, went to hell, and came back as a Spawn demon. You know what I mean? And had an actual enriched, nice story background, so... Casting, though, I have no idea.
You know who I wouldn't maybe mind seeing as him? Two guys come to mind. Unfortunately, they're both tied to Marvel. The new guy that played Black Panther.
Don't like it.
When he was, when they showed him as Black Panther in Civil War, Civil War was his debut.
Yes.
He had like that dark side to him that I think he could really push into the Spawn character. And the gatekeeper in Thor, he was also in Prometheus. Why can't I think of his name?
Jim Alba.
Yeah. I think he could. I think
he's British. We'll start giving American work back up to it. I'm going to say it, man. Will Smith.
Really?
I love Will Smith. He's very underrated. And
I just feel like he's too... And maybe I didn't read that many Spawn comics. I did enjoy the art more of Spawn than I did the story personally. But I feel like Spawn is a much more serious character.
He very is a serious character, and some of the best serious roles comes out of funny people. And be honest, I've seen Will Smith do serious before, and he does a really good job. He's really good at his snarkiness, but I've seen him in serious roles too, and I would love to see him.
Pursuit of Happiness.
I hate that movie. Why would that be the one you bring up?
I'm sorry.
Jerk.
Well, let's talk about, we can bring up another comedian, Robin Williams, in What Dreams May Come.
I was going to go with Good Will Hunting. When he throws Matt Damon against the wall, gives me chills every time. And it's not just, I feel like Will Smith is a big enough name to attach to that. Now you've given it some relevance. He's got that dramatic side for that. And I also feel like if anybody can pull off working at a job you don't want to do, it would be Will Smith. Because I feel like he's pulled that off before in roles. Where, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, Spawn was protecting his ex-wife, her new husband, and their daughter that, he hated at the same time because that was his ex-wife. But he also would protect them constantly. I feel like Will Smith would do an amazing job doing that. So
okay.
Why not? He's playing the genie. Let's let him play another person.
Okay. I can respect that.
Scary things happen. And it's what happens. So, like zombies.
Zombies?
Yep.
Are we talking about Ready Player One?
No.
Ready Player One is the...
what is Ready Player One, sir?
It's a movie based off a book. That's Steven Spielberg's new movie. You see the trailer?
No.
It actually is pretty cool. So it has a lot of video game references and stuff like that. Basically, the movie...
I love it.
The movie is that people don't really live in the world anymore. They live in a virtual reality where you can do whatever your imagination is up to. I never read the book, but in the trailer we saw the Iron Giant from the old cartoon walking next to this kid. It seemed pretty cool. The first trailer got me interested. I'm not going to say I'm sold on it, but there are a lot of references to video games too. Too. Such as Halo, there was a couple of things in there. I would definitely check it out. So you didn't see the trailer, so we can't really talk too much about it.
It's weird now, yeah.
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 But anyone who likes Steven Spielberg and who has read Ready Player One,
he's kind of gotten really big for his bridges. Steven Spielberg, man.
I agree.
I kind of
he's another director personally that I feel like his quality, much like Todd McFarlane, who isn't a director, but I feel like his quality's kind of dropped
because of them. Well, you got to remember him, Frank. I can't even say his name now. Frank, Martin Scorsese, George Lucas, all that. They were the first generation of those kind of directors, school-educated directors. So when they started popping out hit after hit after hit like they did, all of their heads,
yeah,
like, you know what I mean. So that doesn't surprise me that Steven Spielberg would be like, he literally was like, I'm gonna make a movie about a shark, and nothing's gonna work out about it, and it's still gonna be one of the scariest films of all time. That happened, man.
Yeah.
So, but I would love to see a new movie by him. It'd be exciting. He also gave us Jurassic Park.
Like I said, I'm interested. Me and my girlfriend saw the trailer. She's interested. We already have some date nights planned in hopes of dropping the baby off at the grandparents' house or something.
That's a good idea.
But zombies.
That's where I was trying to.
Yeah, let's go with you, man.
I mean, I'm really excited about zombies. So the zombies we're talking about is another season of The Walking Dead. Telltales, huh?
Telltale didn't just announce Walking Dead. They announced 3 things, but we'll start with that
We're
one.
going to start Walking Dead because it's the one that annoys me the most.
Final season, though.
Okay. You know what I mean? Just like we had the last Jason movie, right? That happened. I used to love the Telltale games. You remember that, right?
Me too. I was a huge fan of them.
I did not play season 3 of The Walking Dead.
Me neither.
Because I'm just tired of them. Batman was awful. I know it did well reviews-wise and sales-wise. I hated it. Thought it was terrible.
I felt like they didn't understand the source material enough for fans.
Mm-hmm.
I get that they wanted to allow us to make choices. Those aren't the choices you should have let me make.
Yeah.
Because you really could have just made Batman a completely different character than what we know as the comics.
Yeah.
personally, that upset me too. I didn't even buy it, wouldn't even play it. I've seen people play it. You told me about it, and I kind of just boycotted it. I was like, I'm not going to get this. I had no interest in Guardians.
No, not at all.
I didn't play the last season of The Walking Dead.
Neither did I, and I really, really liked the direction we're going. But to me, you could have ended it with 2. Like, you know what I mean? To me, by this point, it feels like The Walking Dead show. I'm tired of watching it. I'm done.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There are some big fans out there of The Walking Dead. I'm not one of them.
They're called bad people. Just kidding. If you like The Walking Dead, everybody's allowed their own opinion. So, but out of the 3 games they announced, which was Walking Dead Season 3, Batman
Season 2,
Season 2, there is only one I'm super excited about.
I think it's the same one I'm super
excited about. And that's
excited.
Wolf Among Us.
Yes.
Only because, to me, that is probably their best game.
I agree. The only one I may argue, which I think you would argue as well, is Tales of the Borderlands.
I agree with you on Tales of the Borderlands is amazing.
As a whole, I do think...
Here's why I gave it to Wolf Among Us. Wolf Among Us, I played all 5 chapters, down. Tales, I could take a break from. I'd play a chapter, take a couple days, play something else, and then go back to the chapter. Wolf Among Us, I was so involved in that story, I played all 5 straight through.
I couldn't put it down either.
And I also feel like that was the one that left it most open, where I want to see where it's going. That's where I'm saying, we're Walking Dead. Stop it. Clementine, the story's over. Leave it alone.
One of the problems I personally have always had with Telltales as well is they don't really have a schedule for when their next episodes ever come out.
No.
So you're buying these games, which the only one of the 3 I am going to get is Wolf Among Us, but you're buying them and you're waiting. Sometimes, you don't get an episode a month, which I think that is okay. Right. If you give me 1 episode a month, I'm good. Sometimes you go 2, 3, 4 months without an episode, and you're like...
And they also do a terrible job announcing their episodes too, man. It's like, I go on and see that it's just been put up all of a sudden, so...
And it's like, I'm losing interest. You know what I mean?
I'm losing it. Here's another issue I have with them. They made Back to the Future, which did well. Then they did Jurassic Park in that same format, and it didn't do well. So they knew they had to change the format up. So they made Walking Dead and changed format up. That format worked, and now they continue to do that.
Yes, they haven't changed since.
No, it's now, by this point, I'm playing the same as I came.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we put Tales of Borderlands so high up on the list for that, is because that's the only one that feels a little different. There's first-person sections to that game. You know what I mean? Handsome Jack breaks the fourth wall. Yeah. It makes the game feel a little different, but that's the reason why I didn't pick up Guardians, didn't like Batman that much. They feel exactly the same.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think that's something they need to change up. They're starting to feel stale, too. They're coming out with too many of them. I feel like anytime I see something, Telltales announces that they're doing a series of it shortly after, and it's like, oh, God.
Exactly. So it's just like, for one Christmas, I literally got I think that's another issue. I got all of them for one Christmas and played through all their games. I think I burnt myself out, where I'm just like, nope.
I haven't played one of their games since Tales of the Borderlands.
I picked that up. And like I said, but to me, I'm also a person that Batman was the only one I bought that I waited for episodes to come through, and that's only because how big of a Batman fan I am.
Yeah.
So I also feel like they need to start doing different things. Like, one of the reasons I respect them for doing Minecraft was at least Minecraft felt different. They keep doing these real popular IPs. I want to see them do something completely different. You put them out on everything. Start making game exclusive or console exclusive tail games. That'd be something I'd love to see. One based off of Halo. One based off of God of War, or Uncharted, or Mario Brothers, or Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
That would be something. Just start going different. You have a lot of money. Them games are not expensive to make, and they sell like crazy.
I agree.
So, it's, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel original. What does feel original is that new Dragon Ball Z game coming out.
Every time I see anything on that game, I'm just like, it looks so much like the cartoon.
You know, me and Dragon Ball Z went through a love-hate relationship. I loved it and hated the fact that I did in public. Because of the fact that, everybody's a Dragon Ball Z fan, but, it is such a nerdy, thing to like. It's
I used to walk around with Dragon Ball Z shirts on.
you were a nerd.
I still do.
You are a nerd.
I have a shirt for when my son was born.
I like sneak Dragon Ball Z in conversation if I talk about it. Like people are like, you like anime? I'm like, nah, I'm not. You know, I like Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, like I sneak it in because it was that nerd thing that nerds really got obsessed over. You know what I mean? And then I'd be embarrassed to watch that with my wife. Like
Really?
Goku powering up for like 2 days with no shirt, and it's like unless you watch that show down back, you won't It's like wrestling. You can't come in part way to wrestling and be like, "What is going on?" You walk in the middle of like something ridiculous happening, like a brawl and panty match, and you're like, "This is what you find entertaining." And Dragon Ball Z is very much like that. You know what I mean? My luck, it wouldn't be an amazing fight between Goku and Cell. That my wife walks in on. It's going to be when Chi-Chi makes Goku and Piccolo get their driver's license. That's what she's going to walk in and be like, "What are you watching?" So, but I'm still really excited for this game, and this is my whole point. Is I'm not ashamed to play this game because it looks like an amazing fighting game. Number one. Number two, it is gorgeous looking. Number three, tell me about the characters they announced.
Yeah, 2 new ones. Technically 3. We didn't. One got announced a couple weeks ago. We just didn't talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
But I figured, we'll save it. And more got announced. So I was like, we'll just do it all at once. Trunks was the one that was announced. Future
Which
Trunks.
I'm really excited about because Future Trunks is probably one of the best story arcs in a show, period. Not just anime. That was one of the best story arcs ever. Future Trunks.
I do really love Future Trunks. He's my second favorite DBZ character.
All right, right after Vagina.
Vegeta.
Oh, it's close.
You jerk. You know his name. You just like making me upset.
I do.
But Trunks is definitely he's my second favorite character. And then we have the other 2 that they just added was Krillin, the strongest human on Earth.
My second favorite Dragon Ball Z character.
Really?
I love Krillin.
I did not know that.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I love
And your number 1 favorite, I'm assuming,
Yes.
is Piccolo.
Absolutely.
It was also announced.
My 2 favorite. The reason why I like Krillin is because, and it kind of contradicts something I just said about Marvel, literally, it's every time something bad happened. It was the Saiyans, it was, what was Piccolo? Namekian, you know what I mean? Androids, and whatever TN was, you know what I mean?
I don't know what TN is.
Nobody cares about Yamcha. But then there was Krillin. And it didn't matter what was going down. He was like, "I got your back, Goku." Krillin, you're a human. Not only are you a human, you're a dwarf. Like, be honest, but he is still technically the strongest. He was stronger than Yamcha and Tien.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Master Roshi. And I just liked Krillin's story's arc. And I love the fact that, like, he was the one that technically beat Vegeta. Because Goku had to throw him the Spirit Bomb.
Yes.
Which is one of my always favorite. And I know GT doesn't count anymore. But the only thing that came amazing out of GT is when Goku was leaving and asked Krillin to have one more sparring match. And Krillin took it to him because he didn't go Super Saiyan. I was like, that's my boy Krillin. Plus he married an android. Who wouldn't have married Android 18? Everybody would have.
That's true. Well, she got turned human.
She did.
And they had a baby.
Favorite line in that whole series, though, is when Goku came back and it took him 3 episodes to realize Android 18 was there. And then he was like, Krillin's like, "Oh, we have a kid now." And he's like, "Androids can have kids?" Best line of that whole series. Laugh for days. But yeah, I love Krillin. And I really love Piccolo. Those are my 2 favorite characters. So I was really excited.
Piccolo's gameplay, he can extend his arms.
Yes.
Reminds me a lot of the character from Street Fighter. I can't remember the guy's name.
Dhalsim?
Yes. I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. This game looks very fast-paced.
It does.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, but it also looks like I'm going to be very frustrated.
Yeah. It looks like old school Marvel Capcom 2, where like if you know your combos, you can never your opponent like you can just continue on. Which once you get good at it, it's exciting. What I'm hoping is that everybody can get a fresh start in this game, so you won't have those people that have years of advantage on people. So obviously we're going to get it first day together.
Yes.
And I want it to be like every Super Smash Brothers with us, not Mario Kart, where me and you go back and forth in Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
Versus Mario Kart, where you destroy me and make me feel bad about myself.
I'm sorry. But yeah, in Smash, it was always fun to play Smash with each other because we didn't know who was going to win. And, I would play Shirtless Shulk, used to get so mad because I would always do the counter.
I did like Trickle Salt, though.
But that's something that I feel like this game's going to have too. You know, I mean, every character is going to have a different play style, so it's going to be interesting when like we each have those characters that we know we're really good with, and it's like, oh crap, he picked him. All right, I got to watch out for this thing now.
Are you hoping for now? What's getting really popular in games now is story mode. You think we'll get a story mode with this?
I do. I don't know if it will be the. I'm hoping it's as good as fighting game story modes have been lately. I don't expect it though.
I feel like, to me, we're going to get an original story, and for some reason, I'm getting a suspicious feeling with them announcing Krillin and Piccolo. We're going to figure out why Krillin can take it to a Saiyan right now. They're going to explain something happened in this
That's
universe.
true. Yeah.
So, but I'm actually really excited to see. But while we're on the subject of fighting games,
Yeah, we're going to be on this subject for a little while.
for very popular fighting games, there's a couple things that got announced for Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. So they did a trailer for Spider-Man, which didn't just reveal Spider-Man. A lot of people, I when I first clicked on the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, we get to see Spider-Man in action, which I thought was pretty cool. But we also saw Frank West.
Yeah, he's from Dead Rising.
Yes, he will be back. Hager and Nemesis are returning.
Nemesis is really exciting. How do you feel about these characters? Do you feel like they're going to fit in the story well?
I don't even care about the story, honestly. You know what my problem is? This is honestly feeling like Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
A lot of these characters.
A lot of these characters are the same. And I heard the roster isn't going to be very big starting because they're doing a season pass. So from my understanding, they're going to be releasing characters slowly throughout. And I kind of almost, I don't even own the game yet, but I kind of feel like it's a slap to the face where it's like, all right, you have a couple of new ones. I think literally there's a handful of new ones, maybe 5 or 6, but the rest of the roster is all stuff we've seen.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. It's also difficult. It's like, it's that fighting game thing. You want characters that people like, you want to continue through, but you also want a new roster, new fresh faces. You know
Personally, and this is how I've always felt about fighting games, and it always annoyed me that no fighting game has ever done this. I do not like when fighting games ever take characters out. I feel like fighting games, the roster should only ever increase, never decrease. Well, even Smash Brothers have done it. I don't understand why they took Ice Climbers and stuff like that out from the previous games. Ike isn't in Fire. Don't get me wrong; they had a lot of Fire Emblem characters.
Yes, they do.
And
I think Solid Snake was one I was really disappointed with.
Yeah, no Snake.
The issue I have with this is, as much as I'm like, I can see you disappointing, it's enough to say you wouldn't buy the game.
I want it still.
Exactly.
But I will say this: if Marvel vs. Capcom is really lucky, it comes out in September. If this came out the same time as Dragon Ball FighterZ, I would not get it. I probably would get it because, in my opinion, when I watch both of the games, I am so much more excited for the Dragon Ball Z fighting game than I am for Marvel vs. Capcom, and it even looks like a better fighting game to me.
I can understand that. But to me, it's a hardline issue. Like, for an example, I hate season passes.
Yes.
I went and reserved the new wrestling game the other day, and they were like, "You want the season pass?" And it's like, "How much season pass is $90?"
What?
That's with the game and the season pass.
Okay.
$90 though, and they told me everything it came with, and I went and got it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's, how much am I fighting the system by buying into it? You know what I mean? That's the issue.
Here's how I view it, because there are games, I do get season passes as well.
Here's season pass.
But I try to get them for games that I know I really like. I'm not very good at fighting games, but I've always enjoyed the Marvel vs. Capcom games. So I do want to get it, and I do want the season pass because I don't want to miss out on characters. But I just feel like, one, the roster's a lot smaller, and like I said, it feels like a slap in the face to anyone who buys the game almost. Like, I'm getting pretty much the same roster from 3. And some of my favorite characters didn't even make a return. Dante's back in, which I'm really excited for because I did really like Dante, but Virgil isn't. Virgil was one of my main characters I played in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Nova is also back, who I really like Nova. As of right now, my team will probably be Nova and Captain Marvel. Unless Captain Marvel doesn't work out, then it'll be Nova and Dante.
Fair enough.
And no X-Men.
Not yet.
They're not. No X-Men is allowed in the game. Because
'cause
Marvel's
it's
trying
Marvel.
to...
You stupid. Not even Wolverine, huh?
Nope, Marvel's trying to make sure that the X-Men slowly just disappear forever.
Dummies. Stupid Marvel. Sorry, we all like Marvel.
That's fine. But, we still have DC.
Yes, we do have DC, and we're keeping on fighting games. Before you start off about Injustice's new characters, I was very curious about something, so I did some research
Okay.
for this podcast. After Mortal Kombat 10, 9, and 10, did these storylines in it, these long abrasive, there's a lot of fighting games to continue on with that. I did a little research and figured out why. So, Grand Theft Auto 5 sold really, really well, and it's still breaking records right now, still selling.
Yep.
So is Mortal Kombat 10.
Really?
Yes, it is selling just as well, and I'm pretty sure that's why the story in Injustice 2 got really big like that. And same thing, I was looking at projections, Injustice 2 still selling really, really well. Like, you know what I mean?
So,
On a
fighting
weekly
games
basis.
learned that these story modes
These
really
story
do
modes
matter.
make a difference. And I'm also thinking that's why we're getting these characters for Injustice as quick as we are. Because the game's still hot right now, and it's still selling weekly like that. And the numbers, granted, they've dropped a little bit since release, but they're still staying consistent.
Yeah.
Where normally, after a few months, the game sales dramatically drop.
Yeah.
Where this is just consistently still selling. So I'm thinking, to me, that's why we're getting these new characters. Which are, I'm sorry.
Well, we're actually, for Injustice, there was only one. I just had a prediction for a second one. So this one is going to be Starfire.
She got green hair.
Yeah.
So that's my daughter's favorite superhero.
Really? That's pretty cool.
She watches that high school TV, like little girl, high school, like superhero girl. They're in high school. It's weird. It's like DC superhero girls, but they're little kids and they go to school. Starfire's in it.
That's weird.
I don't know. She's a kid. What do you want me to say?
I didn't even know that existed.
It does.
Okay. But I thought this was pretty cool because Starfire is one of those characters that doesn't usually get a lot of love. However, one thing that I thought was interesting, the first DLC character was Red Hood.
Yeah.
Second DLC character, Starfire.
Both in the...
Red Hood and the Outlaws.
Yes.
Which I bring up all the time in this podcast, and I feel like people are probably...
Because it's a really good comic, man.
It is a good comic series. But I'm curious if Arsenal's next.
Pretty sure we're going to get Arsenal. And they'll do like a red... That would be really cool, Outlaw things. Were the two other characters that were in the Outlaws at one point? It was Artemis. What was the other one? It was an adult, and I always get weirded out that they were in it.
I don't remember.
I cannot remember. But either way, and then Impulse was in there for a while. Can't do Impulse, though. There's so many speedsters in that show. So it's interesting. I think it's weird that we're getting a bunch of, in general, Young Justice-like characters and Teen Titan-like characters, and I think DC knows they're popular right now, so we might get that. I honestly, and the DLC for it, I kind of want to see their more out there characters. You know what I mean? Sub-Zero was cool. Thank you for not giving me Scorpion again. Because we do know Mortal Kombat loves to throw Scorpion down our
Sub-Zero was always my favorite.
Well, Scorpion's a better character, but, And Scorpion is done.
Get out.
Oh, my
You thought I was going to say get over here, but no.
So, I would like to start seeing some, like, Watchmen characters would be really cool.
Especially since they just established them in the DC universe.
I would love to see some out there characters. I feel like this game in general did some really cool out there characters. Like Dr. Fate was just mind boggling. Swamp Thing was mind boggling. I did not think we'd ever see them in a fighting game.
Yeah.
And not only that, I think they incorporated them in the story beautifully. So that was my beautifully. But I'm hoping that that's what they continue to do some out there. And I feel like Starfire, although a popular character, is still kind of out there character to do. You know what Starfire's powers are?
She shoots beams.
What's that? Alright. Disrespectful.
So, okay, educate me.
She doesn't know yet. Yep. It was a trick question in the first place. She knows her beam powers right now, and she knows that she has
can fly.
She can fly. That's it.
Okay. I thought you were going to go somewhere with that.
No, I've been doing them all day, baby. It's your turn.
Oh, all right.
It's your
Well,
turn.
at least it's so.
Feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Because somebody doesn't like our transitions, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say there are no names, but we try to work on it for you fans out there.
Yes, we do.
And it hurts.
I'm just glad these fighting games are selling well.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of sales, The PS4 outsold the Switch in June.
That's a big deal, right?
Yes and no. No, because when I wasn't even going to make this news, but some people brought it to my attention, and
Who brought it to your attention?
I'm not going to say.
Was it M-Dog?
Not going to say.
Was it the Asian?
Not saying names. Anyway.
Was it Nick Money Flex?
Yes, Nick Money Flex.
Okay.
But big Tony Spanish. But some people were bringing it to my attention, and the way that they kind of brought it to me made it seem more like they brought it into as this is bad for Nintendo. Like, oh man, Nintendo just came out with a new console and PlayStation is already outselling it. So I wanted to make it news kind of because there's a couple reasons I think the PlayStation did do really well, and a couple reasons I think Nintendo maybe didn't outsell in June. One, Switch is still new, as we know, and it's really hard to find still. So when you don't really have the stock to give, it's kind of hard to sell.
Yes.
However, I think the big thing that really helped PlayStation was in the month of June, they came out with a new PS4. It was a slim model that was all gold.
Yes, which was really cool looking, by the way.
Yeah. I had a 1 terabyte hard drive, and it was $50 cheaper than the 1 terabyte hard drive model. It was $250.
I'll just say, if wife wouldn't care, I would have got it. You know what I'm saying? But she would have stabbed me in my sleep.
Yeah, probably. What I thought was interesting, though, was not only did the PS4 outsell the Switch, the PS4 actually outsold itself ever since its release. This was the best June month PlayStation has ever, the PS4 has ever sold. Which to me is mind-blowing when you really think about it. This is a 4-year-old console.
I also feel like it's probably going to outsell the PS2.
That's what people are saying. It's on track to do it.
That's because, one, they're smarter decisions.
Way smarter.
That, you know what I mean? And setting your price to be so cheap. Like, be honest, there was 2 different PS3s. And the price difference was only $100.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? There's 2 different PS4. Well, there's multiple different, but we'll call them 2 different PS4s. There's your Pro for your 4K, and there's your regular. The price difference is pretty significant. You know what I mean? So if you don't have a 4K TV or you don't care, you can go the cheaper route.
Yeah.
Or you can get the more expensive route, which is still the cheapest 4K experience you can get right now out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's smart decisions. Smart decisions are being made.
Plus, Microsoft from out the gate kind of made
I wasn't going to talk bad about Microsoft, but you want to bring them up.
They made some bad choices with focusing.
What did you do to Gears, Microsoft? What you do to Gears?
They all look like Ken dolls.
So mad at them. That's why Master Chief wears a helmet.
That's the hair.
His hair looks plastic.
But I just thought it was crazy. And what else is crazy is the 3DS came out 2 years before the PS4. The PS4 is about to pass the 3DS in sales. That is crazy. Because the 3DS sold ridiculously well. Nintendo basically, for a while, has lived off their handhelds. The Switch is really the next big successor in their consoles since the Wii, which we can even argue that wasn't really successful. Yeah. Because while it sold, people weren't buying games for it.
No. They played their Wii Sports on a game with.
Yeah.
That's why Nintendo gives 3 versions of Wii Sports. Yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, the Switch, it's hard to do a comparison, like you said, though. One, Nintendo's never had the sales that Sony's had. You know what I mean? And it's only on the basis of, I think anybody that owns a Switch, and we've said this before, I think Nintendo's always okay with being that second console. Everybody I know that owns a Switch, everybody I know owns a PS4 as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know anybody that's just like
exclusively
owns a Switch.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that against Nintendo in any way. It's just, I think, and it goes for me. I love Nintendo to death. Nintendo's my favorite console out there. I think Nintendo makes the best kind of games. But even I would be like, it'd be stupid just to own a Switch. Because I know there's games that I can only play that I've really want to on Sony systems. And let's be honest, Sony is just making better decisions. And it's all around, it's a better system. And this is from me saying I own all 3. My favorite is still my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's the easiest to run, easiest software, fastest load times, everything like that. The install times are ridiculous. It's just a really well done, amazing system.
The only I owned all 3. Do not have an Xbox One anymore.
Yes.
The only one I got rid of, which we may be getting another one because my girlfriend really wants to
sell it to you because mine's just sitting there right now.
But I like my Switch as hardware. I just wish there were more games to play on it that interest me. Every time I say that, people are like, "Oh, there's plenty of games." It's like, yes, there are plenty of games on the console, and some can argue that the Switch may, and actually I agree, it does have the best Nintendo lineup for a console I've ever seen for launch. You know what I mean? The N64, all it really had was Mario 64, and you didn't really have anything to play for almost a year.
Yes.
Besides Mario 64.
Mario 64 the next year, Zelda dropped at that time.
Yeah. So it doesn't, I can see why people are super excited with this lineup. Me personally, the only game I care about is Xenoblade.
You're a Xenoblade.
I try to be. But, Nintendo's doing well. The Switch is selling really well. I hope that they can really keep selling so that they can get these other games. I kind of feel bad, only because I do see a lot of people, anytime a trailer drops, someone's like, this needs to be on the Switch. And it's like, I think you have unrealistic expectations of the Switch, and I think that it's because of those unrealistic expectations is why the Switch is going to be is why the Switch may be set up to not fail, but people to complain about it.
I'm actually excited for this wrestling game comes out October. It was announced recently for the Switch.
Yes.
We didn't put that in the news. I really wanted to mention
I actually did forget about that, too.
I'm actually really excited to see that because this is the first time we're going to see something at launch come out for all three, and I do want to see the comparison in graphics because I really feel like THQ said they're going to put their heart into getting the Switch one to run as best as it can, and they even got the spokesperson of the game to do the trailer for the Switch version. So I'm really excited to see that, and I'm curious on what that's going to look like from downgrade from PS4 to the Switch. So. We'll see. With that being said, I also feel like when Sony makes good decisions, Nintendo makes mediocre decisions. Enough to get them by. You know what it is?
What is it?
Sony is the A student in class. You know what I mean? Nintendo's the one where their mom and dad were proud of you for bringing home a B or a C. That was fine. And Xbox is the one that copies off of the person that got an A, but they're reading the test from upside down, so they're getting a D. That's the problem.
they're making the mistakes even though they're copying.
Yeah, they're like, I think it says C. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the issue.
That kid who leans over to see the test. Oh, I picked C here.
And
damn it! How did I get that wrong? I copied off of you.
And to do the comparison of why I feel like Nintendo makes mediocre decisions, Splatoon 2 came out Friday.
You wanted to talk about this, so that's what we're going to go into right now.
I'm really upset with it. The game is gorgeous. The game plays amazing. Once again, it is a solid shooter on the Switch. It plays so much better than one for the Wii U did. It looks so much better than the one Wii U did. The controls. Why, Nintendo? Why? When you're playing it in dock mode, it is analog stick. And it feels really, really good. On dock mode, you can only use the tilt function. Why would Nintendo do that?
Because they like to see you cry.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Why? My second other complaint about this is no split-screen multiplayer.
Really?
Really?
That's a shocker to me.
Are you kidding me?
Nintendo is all about
family play and get on. And you literally made a living off of your multiplayer games, your Mario Parties, your GoldenEye, your Mario Kart. You release an amazing game like this that my son was excited to play, my wife was excited to play, and you gave me no multiplayer. You literally have to own another copy of the game and a Switch. Only way to play multiplayer on that.
And you're not buying 2 more Switches.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I couldn't believe that. I still can't believe it. The game wasn't so amazing. I would get rid of it. It was amazing stuff.
Yeah, I've been really itching to pick it up. I think I might crack and just do it.
It's just, it's something. But you can't play with anybody that doesn't have a Switch.
That's my other problem. One, even if someone does have a Switch, I don't like that I can't chat with anyone. Like, I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, I really want Splatoon 2, but the only person I can play with is you. And if you're not on, and I play with random people, I can't talk or communicate with them. It's just inconvenient. Like, in order for me to get people to play with, I would have to go online, be like, hey, does anyone have Splatoon 2 for the Switch and do you want to play? It's like,
Yeah.
why can't I just play with random people?
Nintendo, the Switch was supposed to, like, they always show in commercials people getting together and playing their Switches like it's amazing. Every game I've tried to play multiplayer on that thing has been something difficult about it. Like, even when I brought it over to my friend's house the other day to play Mario Kart, you needed a dock to do the link up between Switches.
Really?
So the portable system required me to bring my dock out if I wanted to do a link from system to system.
That's really weird.
Isn't it? Nintendo, get your shit together, man. Get your SHIT together. Because I want to keep defending you. But you back me in the corner sometimes, Nintendo.
Did you download your chat app?
No, I did not. Because I have a phone already. So that's what I do. So, with that being said, anybody that's listening, is Splatoon worth playing? I'm literally just playing the single player, and it is probably, besides Breath of the Wild, the best thing I've played on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
It is really good, and Nintendo is one thing, and you can I always say this: they finish their games, they polish them well, and that's what it feels like. I polished the game.
Okay.
So, and then your character customization is amazing. My squid looks just like me somehow.
Nice.
I look good.
Ooh.
I
You
real
do
good.
look good.
I look real good.
Sticking with Splatoon real quick, I also did hear that they are doing DLC for a year, so support it, and they're doing Splatfest for 2.
Mm.
The interesting thing I thought about this was, is Splatoon going to be the new Call of Duty? Are we getting one every year, or do you think it's going to be every other year?
I think so, because I always make this joke, but it was, the reason Nintendo made Splatoon is because somebody joked around on it, is they don't have an amazing multiplayer shooter. And somebody was like, what are you going to do, paintball guns? And Nintendo was like, all right, and they made Splatoon. And to me, although it will never get the sales Call of Duty does, because Call of Duty is Call of Duty,
And it's on multiple
and it's
consoles.
multiple consoles, it is an amazing alternative to Call of Duty. Like,
And it's very kid-friendly, too.
it is. But with it being kid-friendly, it's very... I can't explain it, like, adult-like. It's... I feel like it's fun for all ages, as crazy as that seems, because it is just a well-polished
The
game.
only problem I worry about with Splatoon is the same problem people have with Overwatch, where people will look at it and say, this looks too childish, I'm not giving this a chance.
And that's another issue with Splatoon. But like, just to describe a mission I had to go through today, there was one of the octopus things that had a shield, and it was going around, and I had to sneak up behind it, distract it, grenade, and that way I could do a roll and knock it out from its shield. I think it was amazing. I had a lot of fun with that. But like you said, because it's little squid people, the shooting paint, not a lot of people are going to try this out, but I do recommend it. It's still a lot of fun, even though it's stupid. With that stupid tilt controls. It doesn't make sense to me. Just look at me. I'm holding my phone for those who can't see. If I'm in the car trying to play Splatoon, I can't. Because you can't hold it straight in a car.
Plus,
You know what I mean?
bumps,
Yeah.
good luck.
So I hope they release an update, and I hope it's much better than this. So anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's
My recommendation, you jerk.
Oh, wow, I'm so sorry. It's
You
recommendation,
kidding me?
not picks. What do we...
All right, it's whatever I say it is this week. You always, you know what I mean. You give yours all the time. What was yours last week?
What did I recommend last week? A game, didn't I?
Yep, it was
Ni no
another
Kuni.
one. Yep.
The first Ni no Kuni.
Real boring. Real boring.
Ni no Kuni is great.
Is it?
Yeah, I love that game.
Is it? That's cool. It's a cool story, bro. Regular talk.
Alright, whatever. Get
You know what I
going.
mean? Does it end? Does it end soon? All right, so my recommendation is another movie, and it's just because I watched it the other day, and that's The Sandlot. I know everybody and their mother has seen it, probably about 10 to 15 years ago. It is, once again, just recently came out on Blu-ray. I recommend picking it up. And if you've never seen this movie, grab your child or a child. No, hopefully yours. Don't kidnap anybody. And
Ooh, Sandlot! I have to go to a playground and see how far I can get with the kid before the police
No.
come.
It is just a feel-good movie. And I was really worried because I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. I watched it with all my children, all 7 or whatever, I lost count. And they loved it, and I loved it again. So that's my pick, my recommendation.
Alright.
It's a great, great game. Amazing. And my second one is, no, I'm kidding. I'll save that for the next time.
You just said great, great game.
Did I say great, great game?
Yeah.
My bad.
Are
Great,
you
great
still-
movie.
See, this is why people are going to go kidnap children. They think you're talking about the game.
Sandlot. Did they ever make a game, Sandlot? Probably for Sega?
Probably.
Everything came out with a video game. Oh, it's terrible.
I remember one time I went to the... it was the Hamilton Mall, because they have that little playground area for kids. And I remember I was watching kids play in it, and a buddy of mine was like, we each should take a kid and see how far we can get before security stops us. And I was like, sounds horrible. I am not trying to, have to be within 50 feet of a school.
It is odd. My issue is, I realize, being a father, you'll have this now, being a father, you automatically like other kids. So, I'll see a little kid in, line, I'll start making faces at them,
Yeah.
And if they're parent, if I'm not with my kids, all of a sudden I look like an ultimate creeper. And then it's hard to be like, I have children. I was just sorry, this is weird.
Trying to be a nice guy. Offered him candy, and now look.
Now look, I'm in jail.
My son, we decided to go to a playground. He's playing on the teeter-totter and whatnot. I had to pee, so I go in a bush. Why is there a kid in the bush? Now I can't go to the playground anymore.
My son sucks. So, I fought a kid at the playground once.
Really?
Yeah, he smelled my daughter's hair. I told him to stop. He didn't. His parent wasn't paying attention. I pushed him. I'm not proud of it, but it happened.
I hope his parents listen to this. I knew he did it.
I mean, all right, let me take the full story. He was smelling her hair. And I was like, yeah, kid, back off. And then he was like, you want to see my fire truck? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, no, you're not. And this little 5-year-old was like, she can see my fire truck if she wants to. I will fight you, bro. And I did. I pushed him. It felt good. It felt good. Got anything else, buddy?
No, I think that's an episode.
It is an episode. So if you like what you heard, please follow us on Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, and YouTube.
And Twitch.
Oh, can I finish?
I'm
Can
sorry.
I have this moment?
Yeah. You're
Always leave a comment and hit that like button that you guys didn't hit for last week, and you get nothing.
Yeah, no one hit that like. We offer you stuff.
We offer you free stuff. We did talk on the phone last night about everything else and our podcast, so we are going to start doing more competitions.
Yes.
Leave a comment or send us an email if you guys want digital copies or physical, so we know what to do. And like I said, hit that like button and follow us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hit us messages. And I promise that Zabo will not attack you in the response backs, no matter how mean you are to him.
I will not. I promise. I hold back sometimes.
Fair enough.
But this is episode 33 of The Enthusiast, and we are gone.
Peace.
Yes, good. Now you're getting it.